Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this brand new day. It is raining outside. Very thick drops, so I think they're kind of slushy, but it's chill, it's wet, it's raining. Yay! I slept last night. Hopefully you slept. And I always say I slept last night because I have horrendous insomnia. And at least if I can sleep a little bit, that's good. So I was able to sleep, and yay, thumbs up for that. Hopefully you were as well. Front loading of videos just to get that out of the way. If you could toss me a like, it'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, it'd be awesome. If you could leave me a comment, that'd be double plus good. And I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These are literally beautiful and literally awesome people who are helping to keep me and my aging pet metabolizing. I would show my aging pet on camera more often, but she is extremely picky and only wants to be picked up on her terms. If you would like to help keep me and my aging pet metabolizing, I have links to the Patreon in the video description, along with a PayPal for possible donations, an Amazon wishlist link with things like pet food on it. Thumbs up for that. Yay! Front loading of videos over. Oof. Yesterday I had therapy. Today I have a med manager appointment where we're going to continue to talk about how my medications are working, and I'm going to bring up and mention, hopefully if I can get through my executive dysfunction, talk about my lack of motivation. I also spoke with my therapist about that, how a lot of the motivation that I've had is gone. But a lot of the motivation that I had was just trying to beat its head against the wall for decades. And I never got through that wall. I was just beating my head for decades. Those parts of my subconscious that have been beating their heads against walls like that feel like they've just put their tools down and have walked away from this pointless, useless task. And so a lot of that motivation to get up and beat my head against the wall is just gone. Part of it also is all my life, I have thought of my life as a normal plate that everybody has. This is a metaphor. A normal plate, a 12-inch plate with a lip. It was level, and I could put a normal selection of things on it and then do things with that as my life. And I've always been wondering why it never worked. It always fell apart. And it's only after realizing that along with my depression and the ADHD and being on the autistic spectrum and a lot of other issues that my plate, I realized, instead of being a 12-inch plate, is really only about 6 inches across, a little bit bigger than a coffee plate. And it doesn't have a lip, so if anything rolls towards the edge, yeah, it falls off. And it's kind of uneven, so things don't sit on there correctly. Had I realized this as an earlier age, I could have compensated for it. I've never realized that until these past 2 years, so I'm still dealing with trying to figure out what to do with this uneven plate of my life that for the past 60 years I thought was a different plate. So hopefully that as a metaphor works. Yay. Also was watching there is a debunking channel I watch with a guy called Vice Rhino. Now that is just his username. What he did was there's a bunch of apologists online, and one of them is called Eric Hovind, and the guy took the guy's name, Eric Hovind, ran it through an anagramizer, and one of the words of Eric Hovind is Vice Rhino. So he went with Vice Rhino as his username. But he's talking about executive dysfunction. He has severe ADHD as well. Some of those things that he talked about, I feel, and some of those things he talks about, because my therapist is only now slowly learning about ADHD themselves. But the Vice Rhino has been talking to their therapist and such about these things and has been told, you will just have to get used to some things to be happier. You're going to have to live with the fact that you will have a messier house. Because just like me, when I want to get some things done and can't, I am screaming at myself inside of my head to get it done. Even if it's something as simple as just pick up something on the floor. And I can't. He has this exact same thing where there's be a pair of socks on the floor that he can't put into the hamper. He can't. He's screaming at himself inside of his head to get those socks into the hamper. And can't. You can look at ADHD as problems with executive function. And boy, do I have issues with executive dysfunction. Part of it, I've gotten used to the fact that I'm never going to be tidy. I can keep common areas very, very clean up to my physical and mental limitations, but my common area, I work hard to keep it from being a landfill. But that's so common that I can't feel bad about that. That's almost everybody with ADHD, a very common thing. But I don't want to go on to that forever, because last night when I was out walking, it was cold and wet, and I walked up to Walmart and back, and even though I went slowly through the store and came back, I still did it in well under 2 hours. So, yay! And I continue to do wall push-ups. I have worked my way up to 20. As soon as I feel more comfortable doing more wall push-ups, I'm going to work on doing floor-type push-ups. You know, starting with from my knees if I can. I mean, I usually don't have issues with my knees except for my right knee, and I don't know what the heck that is, because if I just bend my knee and then lean forward, oh, it feels like a knife inside of there. Why? Don't know. That's the only time it hurts. So we'll go from there. But I went walkies, and that's a good thing. It is the 3rd of the month. I have printing I'm going to go up to the library and do. Yay, since we get $44 of free printing every single month if you have a library card. I still have a lot of PDFs that I need to print out, so thumbs up on that. Yay! I still have a ton of the solo RPG stuff, both with PDFs that I could do and show how you can do it digitally, and only in paper that I still want to do on my table with my dice tower and all that to show all those things off. So I'm still going to be doing the solo RPG stuff. I just gotta fight with the executive dysfunction. Yay! So no fear, stuff is a-coming up. Thumbs up for that. Now let me see what else I have. Well, just real quick. You know how they always say the dangers of parasocial relationships? If you're watching YouTube videos, you can get a parasocial relationship with the person that you watch. I've got the opposite problem. I develop parasocial relationships with people in comments. That's why it hurts so much when I see names vanish. I develop a friendship with these people that's not really there, and then when a name vanishes, it hurts. So parasocial relationships don't just go from people watching videos to the person making the video. You can be the person making the videos that gets the parasocial relationship in the other direction. I always have to work and fight against this, so yay! But I do want to talk about on the creative front with my cryptid setting and the cryptids that are there. One of the issues, one of the reasons that it's working really, really slowly in my relationship story situation between Niss, who is an urban cryptid, and her friend Kay, who is a human being, I've never felt the urge, nor have I ever eaten an actual human being. I don't know what it would feel like to regret that particular thing. I've never had anyone confess to me that they have killed and eaten several human beings. I've never had anybody confess to me anything major, so I don't really have any experience on that front either. The only way I have real ways to try and work this out is what I've seen in things like movies and read in books, and they're all fiction, and some fiction is just awful with their representations of reality. And even movies that aren't depicting reality, they're depicting a dramatic moment. So my trying to figure out exactly how Kay is going to be reacting to a whole bunch of this stuff is a little bit slower than I like. And the relationship, how Niss is feeling, that one's getting a little easier. She's feeling a lot of shame. I'm used to feeling shame. I don't have any issues depicting that. But the situation goes like this with this whole stuff. Niss and Anne, after Niss has given the booster to her friend Kay, whose full name is Kaylee. She hates that name. She goes by Kay because it's ambiguous. It could be the letter K, it could be K-A-Y, it could be something else, and that fits in with her whole computer nerd type thing. So she likes doing that. She goes by Kay. After about 2 hours of her using her booster, which has about a 6-hour charge on it, Niss is so anxious. She has just worked herself into a state of full anxiety, realizing some things about how much danger Anne is, and just going homeless being a death sentence, and how close Kay is to that point. So Kay turns off her booster, and they talk for a while before it's bedtime. One of the things that Niss tells Kay is, yes, the world I live in, the world I come from, the world I'm in right now that I can still see, yes, it's beautiful, but I've never told you the scary parts of this. There are some cryptids that they have to eat they have to eat people or they will starve to death. And there are the other cryptids that they eat. Because they like the taste or for reasons, celebrations. There's all sorts of reasons, but there are not a lot of cryptids, but there are some out there that just, they eat human. Have you ever noticed there's no homeless population in Brookerton? And she fills her in with that and says, we'll talk in the morning. Leaves Kay to sleep and just starts packing up the stuff that she wants to keep. Spends the rest of the night doing that. And in the morning goes to talk to Kay. Sure that she's going to have questions, ready to talk about her life and her parents, but also completely ready, having packed up everything she wants to keep, ready to leave if Kay tells her she has to go. Because this is big. I'm not quite sure fully how they both react on this yet. I get feelings of intense shame from Niss. Kay, on the other hand, she has had the booster. It has pushed her cryptid sense and opened up her third eye for a short time. This does change you a little bit. Things open up and start to grow a little bit, and when the booster comes off, everything goes dormant again. She's not really ready to just cut ties, because one of the things I was thinking of her saying is she's like the lines of, you are still the same person that you were before you told me. You're still the person that I grew to like. You are still the same person. The only thing that has changed is my perceptions to the truth. You are still the same person you were before you told me. And that calms her down, and she's no longer feeling like she has to run out of the room screaming. But she's not ready to just push Niss away yet. She is kind of more modern in that after saying she doesn't want her to leave yet, it's going to take time to get used to the fact that her friend is like Jeffrey Dahmer. But she's willing to at least give it a try to still be friends. But while she's doing this, she's fumbling and playing with the necklace and turns it on while she's busy talking and just fumbling and playing with it and wearing it, which of course turns up everything, opens up her third eye, and that affects how you think about things. Niss still would like to get her a booster if she's not going to push her away. But Niss, of course, with all of her shame, she's trying to tell Kay that no, she had never planned on eating her. She never planned on eating anyone here in the building. The last person that Niss ate was just before Kay moved in. She ate a guy for Christmas because she'd been such a good girl that year. And she is just feeling such intense shame about all of this. So she's having to talk about her family and the people that she's eaten and how many she has personally killed and eaten. But to defend herself, this is the world I live in. This is the world I grew up in. This is the world I'm in right now. And if you do decide to stay in this world, if you do not push me away, if you get a booster and you wear it, you have to also be aware that all cryptids talk in a terrifying fashion. When my parents would tuck all three of us girls into bed, they would tell us quite earnestly, and they meant it, that they wanted to eat all three of us. That they knew we would taste good, it would feel good to eat us, and their meat would feel so good in their bellies. And we knew they loved us. And we told them we wanted to eat them too. You will hear that all through the cryptid world. It sounds scary. But it's just saying you love someone. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. Going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count American Sign Language, well. And of course, if you've watched this far, thumbs up, thank you. You have done it of your own free will and of your own volition. Thumbs up and thank you. I wouldn't force you even if I could, but I can't. I'm just recording this hours or days before you watch it, so thumbs up for that. So, we have It's RELYT. I do not know how you would pronounce your username. I am sorry I have to keep spelling it, but thumbs up, thank you, and greatly appreciate it. Jesse Koskinen, thumbs up, thank you, and hey, pizza dough. Lewis, thumbs up, thank you very, very much, and I am really trying my best to get this thing written. I'm working on it. It's hard. We have Chris Hardbody. That's a heck of a picture there for your profile. And thumbs up, thank you. There's Jared TG. Thumbs up, thank you very, very much. And yeah, life is treating. Life is, yeah. We have JAYY. Thumbs up, thank you. Always good to see you in the comments. Greatly appreciated. And I'm glad you like janky games too. We have Kyle Kennedy. Greatly appreciated. Shinra. Thumbs up, thank you. And I'm going to be working on the knee push-ups as soon as I can. We have Larry from Space, greatly appreciated, thumbs up and thank you. RJ Mitchell, greatly appreciated. Shaw with 2 W's, thumbs up and thank you. Baked Flaccid, thumbs up and thank you, heck of a name. There is 8 Fawn, thumbs up and thank you. And Sean238, greatly appreciated. Winter, Raphael, Sinalubong, greatly appreciated. 14 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours to get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people, if only in text and if only for a short time. But thumbs up and thank you, it is appreciated. Well, Hokey smokes, it being a Friday, and today having my med manager appointment, I'm going to do what I can. I just found out from talking to my half-brother on Facebook. I've been trying to get hold of my genetic father. Apparently, because my half-brother and my genetic father have had to move, my genetic father has had a psychotic break during this point and is currently hospitalized, and they're working on getting him into a skilled nursing facility. So I need to wait until things calm down a bit before I can talk to him. Thumbs up. Still, though, hopefully you can get done what you need to get done, and that would be a good thing. And of course, no matter where you are, if people are getting sick, please take precautions. If people are getting hurt, take precautions. I mean, Hokey smokes. And yes, I'm still talking about this after months. If you're out of walking and you hear the mournful howl of the bus horn, that bus with your name on it, it doesn't matter if you're on the 35th floor of a skyscraper. You can hear that horn, look out the window, and through the fog, see that bus ramping off buildings and using the momentum to climb up until it comes crashing through that window at you. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing.